and share this with everybody while everything gets started. Hey, Clara, Robin, Tammy, Princess Di, Renee. People are coming in quickly. I'm missing people. Thank you for sharing. Let me go ahead and share over to Cloud Hub, who I always forget to share to. Let me give them a share right away. And sharing to Twitter. Share to everybody you can. Hey, Wayne, good to see you. Good to see everybody on this Monday. Hopefully, you're not doing too much Cyber Monday shopping. I don't think I'm going to be doing any of it, but it's always good to know it's there, I suppose. Good morning, good morning. Let's see, is it going to bring us up? Or are we going to... All right, there we go. Perfect. Good to see everybody. All right, let me bring myself on. Good morning. Good morning. Now I have it morning. Hey, Robin. Hey, Linda. Good to see you. Hey, Sylvia. Good to see you. Glad that everybody is here. Let me transition the page over. How is everybody doing? Good to see you. Thomas Kincaid, good to see you. Wanda Craig, good morning. Glad everybody is here. Glad everybody can see me and what's going on. We have a lot to talk about, of course. Hey, Clara. Hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Absolutely, Robin. I hopefully everybody can see me. I'm up on my screen. Don't know if I'm up on your screen yet. Hey, Lori, good to see you. Okay, there I am. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Good to see everybody. Okay, let me just read a little bit from Matthew 25, verse 31. When the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the holy angels with him, then he will sit on the throne of his glory. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate them one from another, as a shepherd divides his sheep from the goats. And he will set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then the king will say to those on his right hand, "Come, you blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me." Amen. Hey, Elaine. Miss you, Susan. Thank you, Elaine. Yes, I can see you. Wanda said, good morning, Judy. Good morning, Judith. Good to see you. G. Lefman, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Glad to see everybody. Before we get started, also, I have a little prayer request from everybody, if you will. I have a friend who has a husband named Andy. Andy found out on Friday, I believe it was, that hey, Miss Andrew Vaughn, hey, Wayne, that his spleen is twice the size that it should be, and the lymph nodes around his spleen are very much enlarged. So if you would please pray for him, pray that for his healing, pray God's will for him. If you will, very much, I appreciate that. His name again is Andy. If you would just reach out and say some prayers on that, that would be great. Praying for Andy, Robin said. Thank you, Robin. Thank you so much. Now, the president is on his way. He's already departed to the NATO summit that will be taking place in London at the same time, just coincidentally, at the same time that Nadler is going to be having his House Judiciary Committee meeting or whatever it is on impeachment. Hey, Trauma Mama, thank you for praying for Andy. Thank you. So thank you, Lori, for praying for Andy. So you know that this was planned just this way so that President Trump would not be in town when it started, although he was sent like, hey, Tim Marvin, good to see you. They can remove it, Elaine said. Oh, no, prayers are in or circle for Andy. Thank you, Clara. They basically are, told the president, oh, you can be there, you can have your lawyers there, everything else. And can they remove it? I don't know, Elaine. Hopefully it won't get that far that it would have to be removed. Let's just hope there's some sort of infection going on there, and it's nothing more than just that. That would be, best case scenario. Lord God, giver of life, please place your healing hand upon Andy as a testament of your glory. Amen. Amen, Judy. So obviously they did not want President Trump there at the impeachment inquiry process meeting debacle, whatever it is. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few moments. But let's get into some things that happened over the weekend that are just some of it just the nutty left, like this. I know that Biden was just playing around with his wife, but when you're doing something like that, you really shouldn't be doing that when you're on the campaign trail and there are people watching. This would be something that you might do at home flirtatiously. I don't know. I don't know what possessed him to even do this. Um, I really do think that there is something wrong with this man, and I'm saying that respectfully. I I I don't know why anybody else would do that. Robin said that was so weird. Is Nadler's belt going to hold his pants up? Probably not. Probably not. But I can't understand why what went through Joe's head. Yeah, I know Joe has no filter, trauma mama said. It's so inappropriate for him to do that and to do it in public. And he has absolutely no qualms about doing something like that with everybody watching and everybody sort of, aghast, I guess, at seeing that. Good morning, Kim. Possession, Mary Lou said. Mama Lou. Sorry, Danielle. Yeah, it could be. Hey, Jerry. I don't know. I mean, when you see something like that, you just have to wonder. I hope Mr. Trump doesn't attend court. Anything he says will be twisted against him. G. Leftman, Mr. Trump is on his way to London, so he won't be there. Kim said Biden is a weirdo. Yeah, I think he's lost his mind, literally, Robin said. Yeah, can't help himself. He's a pervert, Sylvia said. Did you hear what Biden said? Well, yeah, there was a video that came out about Biden. That was not what he said on this campaign trail. I think this was something that he said previously, and he was talking about the hairs on his legs and how children, because he had blonde hairs and all that, the children would rub his legs when he was in the pool to watch his hair stand up or whatever. I mean, again, so inappropriate to be talking about on any campaign trail. And in part of the words, you couldn't even understand what he was saying. It was just amazing. What about him talking about his hairy legs? Yeah, Robin. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. That was insanity. Would he be eating the fingers of Queen Elizabeth? Maybe, Judy. Possibly. I'm wondering if Joe is in his early stages of dementia. Clara, could be. Could very well be. Biden's a nutball. Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, Judy was talking about his hairy legs and how the kids used to rub his legs in the pool to watch his hair stand back up because they were blonde and all that. I mean, it was just weird. So, I don't know why he would do that. I don't know why somebody wouldn't say, Joe, that's inappropriate. It seems like his wife, a lot of times, yeah, and roaches. I mean, Robin, part of it, if you could understand, that was the same speech with Corn Pop. Yeah. I mean, it's tough to listen to know that this person is running for the presidency of the United States, and yet nobody is telling him, stop. That is so ugly. Biden, Gillian. Oh, Gillian. Is that you, Gillian? Because it doesn't say your name today. I'd like to see, since no one is able to touch her. I don't think he knows what he's saying anymore. I don't either, Robin. Creepy Joe. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he knows what he's talking about either. And something about roaches too. Yes, Elaine. Who knows? Some guy on Twitter said, I'll pay you $500 if you can tell me what he's saying. Because it was just so convoluted. It was worse than like Nancy's. She is his handler. I know, Buzz. And that's the thing. She's his handler, and yet she doesn't tell him to stop doing that. Any wife would say, look, maybe you just need to not be doing this anymore. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Pandora in the box. Looks and sounds a lot like dementia. I'm thinking so, Judy. Thank you, Gillian. Thanks for letting me know. His wife should intervene. It's embarrassing. I know, Clara. Absolutely she should. Any wife or any husband whose wife was doing that would intervene and say, you know, enough is enough. I mean, I don't know what they expect. I don't know if they think that he's somehow going to go through the debates and beat anyone, and then somebody else, maybe like she would be the president instead of him. I guess his Biden has another aneurysm pressing on part of his brain, Trauma Mama said. I know. Yeah, I don't know, Gillian. It could be. I mean, it is very creepy. And again, I think he possibly it's some physical or mental or both thing going on there. And you know, I pray for him, one, that he would get help, but two, that they would just take him off the campaign trail. It's embarrassing to him, and it's a humiliation, really. And why do this to somebody? It's not good. Okay. Now, I wrote an article at SusanKnowles.com. I won't bring it up here, but it's an article about Chick-fil-A again. It's called something, 7 More Reasons Not to Support Chick-fil-A. Please go there and read that article today on Chick-fil-A. There are 7 more organizations that Chick-fil-A is apparently giving to that is not what you would think is appropriate. So I'll let you be the judge of it. I think he gets the questions prior to the debates. Judy said, could absolutely be. Agreed. There's something wrong with him. Robin said, I read and shared your article. Great article. Thank you, Robin. There are a lot of people, who, not a lot, but a few, I guess, who just don't want to accept the fact that Chick-fil-A has turned and gone to the left. And they're fighting it. They don't want to go, and they don't want to look at, any sources. They don't want to do any research. They just love Chick-fil-A that much. And then I've seen excuses of, well, but there are so many organizations that give, and what are you going to do? Stop giving to all of them? I stopped giving to a lot of them, and I stopped participating in a lot of them, as many as I can. Yeah. Let's see. Both Bidens will be extradited to the Ukraine using a treaty signed by Bill Clinton, Buzzball said. Well, that'd be interesting. Hey, Lee, good to see you. Now they're trying to say he stutters and it came back. Wow. Lori said he'd be easy for Trump to beat, though. Yeah, but a little bit, sad at the same time that he was beaten so badly. Hope we all had a great Thanksgiving. I did, Lee. Hope you did, too. Where's the psychoanalyst when you need one? They always say Trump is mental unfit. How about Biden? Well, Jerry, they'll never, you know as well as I do, they'll never say that about Biden. Wonder why they changed. Yeah. Did they get new management? No, what happened, Judy and Gillian, is that Truett Cathy, the man who used to own it, hey, Carol Williams, who used to own Chick-fil-A, he passed away. That was the dad. The CEO is now his son, David, I believe it is. Dan, David, I can't remember which one it is. But Dan Cathy, I think. But anyway, he has obviously changed the way he looks at things. As you know, he stopped giving to the Salvation Army and another Christian athletics group. He decided that he was going to give to the Southern Poverty Law Center instead, and other groups. And some of the 7 other ones there are pretty amazing, not in a good way, that they're giving to. Hey, Doris Harris, how are you? I try to research organization I give to. Absolutely, Danielle. Trump will beat him like a drum, Robin said. Yep. I worry more about voter fraud. I do too, Claire. I think that is a real problem that we need to concern ourselves with. But anyway, please read that Chick-fil-A article. I have stopped going to Chick-fil-A. Yes, I do know that there are other organizations, that a lot of ones that we participate with, that, people have said to me, what are you going to do? Quit going to all of them? I quit going to as many as when I find out about them, I cut them off. And I don't go to Starbucks. I don't do other organizations that I've found out that don't agree with my principles. Judy said his dad would not be happy. No, I don't think he would be. Robin said they're just another food chain to me now. Exactly, Robin. And a lot of people say, well, I really love Chick-fil-A and I love the service and the food is great. Well, the food's great at another food chain that doesn't give to the people that we don't appreciate as Christians. As for example, I'm sorry to, for some people to hear this because I know they're going to be upset, but the Girl Scouts, for example, the national headquarters of Girl Scouts give to Planned Parenthood. So I don't buy Girl Scout cookies. Sorry, work. I love you all. Missed you this weekend. Thanks, Barbara. The love of money is the root of all evil. Chick-fil-A will fail, Rick said. Well, And also let's just say you love Chick-fil-A and you can't not go there because their food's so great and the service is so great. Here's the thing you should remember. If you're okay with who they give to, are you okay that they lied to you? I mean, to me, it's a double whammy. They are not only giving to people that don't coincide with my principles, but they also lied to me about it. Chicken in the Instant Pot is just as good. Oh, if not better, Judy. I have an Instant Pot, and I'll tell you, it's been great. Or are they going to start being open on Sundays? Well, Robin, supposedly that's the one thing that Dan promised his father that he wouldn't do, and that is open on Sundays. So I would say give it some time, and you might start seeing that happen. I don't know. I'm just saying, I think his dad would be disappointed in other things, so you might as well just go ahead and do it all the way, I suppose. Let it feel our sting. Yep, I don't buy Girl Scout cookies. They are full of poison anyway, Clara said. Yeah, now they're a little bit more. Okay, so in other news, this is Lisa Page. Lisa Page says that it is unfathomable. There's no fathomable way that I committed any crime at all. I don't know if she committed a crime. I would say that she broke every rule, perhaps, that the FBI had for her, and how she should conduct herself on the job, and the use of equipment. Whether or not she committed a crime is going to be, where can we eat? Well, I don't know, Robin. You could check out Cane's if you have that. There are a lot of places that have chicken sandwiches. I mean, Thank you, Susan, for saying you don't participate in companies that no longer do or act my own values any longer. You're welcome, Carol. Thanks for letting me know, Doris Harris said. You're very welcome. Hey, Pamela, good morning. I don't eat out hardly at all, but Chick-fil-A I like. Yeah, Jerry, I used to like them, but don't eat there anymore. I do eat sometimes at Cane's. And again, there are other restaurants that have chicken. It's not like Chick-fil-A was the best. So anyway, also, I guess it's what it was a little annoying with the Lisa Page article is that this was by the Daily Beast, so that was annoying enough. But they're saying that some leaked information shows that Lisa Page is going to be exonerated. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. Yeah, Elaine says eat at home. Exactly. It's the beginning of a not guilty plea, Buzzball said. Thought she was smarter than that, Lisa Page. Puzzle said. Yeah, but they're saying there's a leaked article that's saying, leaked information coming out of that report that's coming out that says that she's not going to be found guilty of any crime. So she said that, she didn't like it when Trump was at one of the rallies and he like feigned an orgasm about her, her and Peter Strzok. I think that was maybe Daily Beast's way of writing about it because I didn't see that. It's me, Jules. My account was disabled for too many negative Obama comments, so I'm starting over. Oh my gosh, County DA. Unbelievable. Remind me, Jules, that's you when you come in, okay? Because it is going to take a little while. Just get used to you on something else, and then I get to have to change. So remind me when you come in that that's you until I really nail it down, if you don't mind. Okay, so again, please just remember, hey, Teresa, good morning, that Lisa Page, according to this article in the Daily Beast, is that she's not going to be found guilty of any crime or no bias. Now, I've heard that about a couple of people, which really shocks me, alarms me about what's coming in that IG report. I still like them, but won't eat there. Danielle said, yep. Where did you get your Instant Pot, Susan? I think we bought ours at Walmart. Puzzles. My husband actually went and picked it up, but I think it was actually Walmart. I can't remember, but we got there's a 6 gallon and an 8 gallon. We got the 8 gallon, and I'm glad we did. I think the 6 would have been too small on some things, and having things put down in there that you need to do sometimes. So I got the 8 gallon one. Okay, so now I also wanted to talk a little bit. This is something that just sort of, I don't know, it's probably something that's been on my mind, but I just my mind sort of put it all together yesterday. I was thinking about Nadler and the upcoming hearings that were going to take place in the judiciary. And I was thinking, as a former practicing attorney, I looked at all that they've done, and I thought back about what Schiff has done. I thought back about how they didn't follow the Constitution. They didn't follow the federal rules. They didn't do any of that. And I just want to tell you, and maybe you've thought about this too. This was something that was orchestrated and had a lot of people participating in pulling this off. And by that, what I mean by that is, definitely in my mind, they had a room filled probably with attorneys sitting around long before this started, long before, Schiff's impeachment process, impeachment inquiry started, sitting around figuring out how far can we push this. The beast and page stretch the O comment, Cully said. How far can we push this impeachment inquiry? How far can we go in not following the rules? What are going to be the consequences? If we do this, what will they do? Basically, what I'm saying is they spent a long time putting this together. This is one of those things that I don't know how long they put this together. I don't know if this was started on the first day that he became president. But if you know the law and you any familiarity working with the law, you have to know that this is total strategy that they've done, and they knew what the Republicans were going to do. And attorneys, who knows how many they had, that sat down and figured out just exactly what they could get away with legally without being I don't know who they would have to justify what they're doing to. So I don't know if the Trump administration could have gone to the court system and said this was being done unfairly. I kind of doubt it, but there's maybe a possibility of it. But Trump doing that would have legitimized the process, just like Trump coming there with his attorneys would have legitimized this unconstitutional process that was not afforded any other president that went under impeachment. Even Nixon and Clinton were treated better than this president. As long as the MSM is on board, nothing is beneath them. That's right, Tim. Alt-left lawyers have been working on this for 3+ years. I believe that, Judy. This took a long time. It really did take a long time to come up with what are we going to do? How are we going to do it? If they do this, what happens here? Da, 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 da. Please tell Cully hi from Elaine. I miss him. Elaine says she misses you, Cully. Elaine loves Trump, misses you. So, and you know that yesterday a letter went from the White House over to Nadler to let him know that they would not be participating. That the way they look at it is this is basically, it's a farce. I mean, it really is. When you think about what they've done and how they just keep doing it, and there's no reason to do it at all. There's your boy Nadler. It is so unconstitutional, so against everything that's good and just. And I believe that Zelensky came out again and said that President Trump did absolutely nothing wrong. But it doesn't matter. This is their insurance policy in play, Cully said. Yep. Judy said, yes, indeed. Love that letter. I know that letter was like in your face. I think Trump has had a plan all along, though. Robin said, well, I think Trump knows what he's doing, and he's been around lawyers and this type, this type of thing, not exactly the same thing. Proof that the devil is in charge. Hey, Margaret. Hey, Margie. I heard something about the devil that I think that you'll appreciate over the weekend. This was one of the J.D. Farag, Pastor Farag, was talking about. He had a whole lesson on why does God allow Satan sometimes to attack. And the reason God will never allow Satan to attack you, which I think is what we are seeing with Satan attacking President Trump, and big time, right? And Netanyahu. But God will never allow Satan to lay one hand on you. Hey, Arda, unless it's for your good and his glory. And I think that's something that we should remember, that what you see President Trump going through is somehow in some way for his good, perhaps to draw him closer to God and for God's glory. Because God is in control. God is going to do whatever he wants to do. And perhaps, if you haven't read the book of Esther, perhaps that you should, maybe what we're seeing taking place will eventually culminate into the book of Esther. And I'll leave it at that. I did write some, if you don't know or not familiar with the book of Esther, of course you can find it in the Bible. You can also find it on my website. I wrote about it, put it in terms that really you can really understand. Robin said, amen. Remember Job? Yep. Nadler needs a good seamstress to do some serious alterations on his clothes, Alexis said. Well, he's only 5'3". So I think for a man, it would be hard to find clothing when you're 5'3". Yeah, but I like the letter, and the letter was basically, yeah, Jonah, exactly, Judy, saying that we're not coming. This has been a farce. And so, we'll respond later to your other letters, that type of thing. Clara said, I believe that too, Susan. God is in control, Alexa said. Absolutely. All right. Now, let's hear some tweets from Trump. Those are always great. He had some Trump tweets out this morning. Let me bring those up for you. First one, he said, the do-nothing Democrats get 3 constitutional lawyers for their impeachment hoax. They will need them. The Republicans get 1. Oh, that sounds fair. So that was one thing that he tweeted out. Now, he also tweeted out this morning a quote from Huckabee. Huckabee said, Governor Mike Huckabee said, when the law enforcers turn out to be the law breakers, then we have totally upended the rule of law. Nobody is safe and everybody is in trouble. Our system of government is under attack. Absolutely. And I just want to say too, when I talk about President Trump and I say that God may be allowing Satan to attack him to bring him closer to God, let me just tell you something else for us all, because it's not only President Trump that is being attacked. We as Christians are being attacked, and our country is being attacked. Our republic is being attacked. And perhaps you have to also say that if God is allowing President Trump to be attacked in order for God's glory to be revealed and for Trump to be in Trump's good, perhaps it's in our good as well that God is allowing our republic to be attacked, because perhaps we also are to draw closer to God. So keep that in mind, because that shouldn't go unnoticed, I don't think. Okay. And the third tweet was, the Democrats don't have any evidence, but they're still going to do it anyway. That's the sham that's going on here. And that was from Jason Chaffetz. Judy said, fact, they need more to make good bad. Hey, Doris said, AM. I love that this scope can be on around my kids, and I don't have to worry they are hearing truth. Thank you, Jules. Faith grows during adversity. Yes, and I think, again, we as Christians have to remember that, this is happening for our good too. That we probably sat around and thought, yeah, we've had it good as Christians. Nothing's going to happen. Nobody's attacking us. And every single solitary day, we as Christians are attacked. Just put up anything that you want. As you say, Susan, this is the issue. Yes. Just put something up on Facebook or whatever about Christianity and watch what happens. Watch what, crawls out of the darkness, if you will, and comes after you. I've had that happen to me over the last couple of days. That statement goes with what the guy said about the Pentagon is putting together a spiritual war. I don't know what that is, but you'll have to finish that sentence, Barbara, and I can probably decipher it. It is a spiritual battle that we have going on, but I think by now, hopefully by now, most people understand that, because, man, if you don't, we are too complacent. I know, Elaine, and I think it's for us to wake up. And I know people would love to see a revival. I would too. I don't read anything in the Bible about there being a revival. Yes, some good content scopes cuss too much. Yeah, there's some that just start out saying, the F word as they say hello, Barbara. And for me, that's a little bit too much. Okay, if everybody could, it's halfway. If you would just share this, please. Again, so we can invite more people in. Really appreciate it. Let me try to get this up here. Let me change this a little bit. Okay. All right. All right. So now brace yourself. This lovely lady, Nancy Pelosi. Why do I have her up here? Well, wouldn't you know it, that Nancy Pelosi and 14 other Democrats in Congress went off on your dime to Spain to attend a 2019 United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So I hope you enjoy them on their little vacay, spending your taxpayer dollars, because that's exactly what they're doing. She didn't pay for it on her own dime. She's not taking 14 of her closest Democrat friends for nothing. She's going there with 14 other people on your dime to talk about climate change, which she knows that the president isn't in agreement with. And some of the Democrats that went with her, White House, Bernice Johnson, of course, Castor, Betty McCollum, Brownlee, Huffman, Peters, Dingell, Kasten. Some people that you don't really hear too much about. Is she a drinker? That's kind of the rumor, Gillian. I have no idea. So I have no idea. But anyway, so they're out, partying on your dime and going to do something. Why somebody from the United States Congress needs to go to Spain in regards to a climate change conference. I mean, we all know what their justifications are, but there really isn't a justification for going outside of the country to do that, in my opinion. How dare her? Well, yeah, how dare her? She shouldn't be spending. If she wants to go, I'm okay with that. Pay for 14 people on your own if you want to take 14 people. It should not be my money that she goes over to Spain with in regards to climate change. Why did so many have to go? Gillian, I have no idea. That would be a good question, I guess, because, in case 13 miss it, that last one's going to get it. Climate hoax cult. Yeah, I know, Rick. It's pathetic. I'm tired of them wasting our money. That's exactly what they're doing. Okay. Let me bring up another. This right here. This is John Kerry, of course. He called on Americans to start treating climate change as though the country is fighting a war. So now we have John Kerry, who's telling us that climate change, we need to fight it as though we're fighting a war. Wish Trump had stopped it like the last time when they were told they weren't going. They were all on a bus going to Israel, I think. Vicki, that was just the best thing ever. Best thing ever. I love that. Who approved it, Janice said? Probably the State Department, Janice. I think that's who approves it, right? I agree, Susan Danielle said. How about good old Jack Dawson, Leo Caprio funding Amazon Fire? Alan said, I don't know if that's true, Alan. I think I saw the headline and there was some debate about whether that was true or not. If drinking makes you look like Nancy Pelosi, I quit, Wayne said. The bus was stopped by Capitol Hill police. Yep, big money and climate change. Not only big money, but, this is a way to bring in the one world religion, the one world order, if you will. It's a way to get the entire world to kind of come together over that type of scenario. So they're working hard at getting that done, and that's why everybody's over there, including people like Nancy Pelosi, the Democrats, who are absolutely 100% for climate change. Yeah, climate change is a distraction, Janice. I agree with that. Totally agree. Yet they're starting the fires in the Amazon to get more money, Barbara said. Why couldn't she just ride her broom and use her flying monkeys, Rick asked. It really ticks me off as there are thousands of Americans struggling while they use our money to play. I know, Kim. I mean, think about all of that money that could be used. I mean, we could resolve the hunger issues in America if we just quit wasting government money, which is our money. He is nuts. He has he moved to Iran? Gillian said, no, Gillian, he hasn't, because he couldn't move to Iran and still live free. He wants you maybe to go there, but not him. President tries to save money and they want to impeach him, but Pelosi can travel around at our cost, Chicago Pop said. Yeah. Yep. Yes, absolutely. It's not fair. And, again, there's everything is so upside down. I know that you've noticed the world is upside down right now. The laws apply to one group and not another. I mean, you're seeing things that don't make sense, and they don't make sense because God said these things would happen, where up would be down, right would be left, wrong would be right, good would be evil, that type of thing. We're seeing that it is coming to fruition. So the more we see it, the more that it goes right along with what the Bible said. Most politicians use fear mongering these days. I don't know about that. I mean, Bible prophecy being fulfilled daily. I don't necessarily know that I've heard fear mongering other than the climate change thing. That's mostly it. Or AOC, who keeps talking about children in concentration camps. I mean, it's those. If anything, Reverend Flummox, it's those on the left politicians that are doing that. They put the money through a fund, and little goes to help the Amazon, that NGO thing. Barbara said, "Yeah." Now let's bring this up. This is James H. Baker. He's the Obama holdover heading the Pentagon office. Reportedly, he's under investigation by the U.S. attorney who's conducting the criminal probe of the Trump-Russia investigation. He was accused of leaking classified document in a recent court filing for retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn. So this is supposedly the man who leaked information about Flynn, and I believe he is accused of leaking it to the Washington Post, I believe. And he is a great friend, supposedly, with David Ignatius, who is a reporter at the Washington Post, and they think that he leaked that information to him. Pelosi needs to spend more time cleaning up her state. Yet, amen to that, Renee. Desensitizing, Janice said. They're warming up to the UN agreement in 2030. We should be able to vote and approve any trip since it's coming out of our pocket, Lori said. It ticks me off when the left goes after Trump for golfing. He donates his salary. I know, Clara. Did you catch Alyssa Milano crying? I watched a few moments of that, Robin, of her crying. This woman who was supposedly crying about children, and while she knows that she aborted and killed 2 babies because they were inconvenient. So I'm not really feeling too sorry for Alyssa Milano, who is crying. Please refer to Obama as a transgender. I'm trying to make it as, yeah, that's okay, Postball. Trump was elected at least in part on fear-mongering. Nope, he wasn't. Sorry, Flummox. What he said wasn't fear-mongering. What he said was factual. Judy said he needs to go. Talking about James Baker. Yes. According to a November 21 report by Sarah Carter, John Durham is questioning personnel in the Pentagon's Office of Net Assessment, and that's the office, I believe, where he works. And they're trying to determine, did he leak this information? And the ONA was awarded about $1 million in contracts to the FBI informant Stephen Halper, who appears to have played a key role in alleged U.S. intelligence agencies spying on the Trump campaign. So Baker is believed to be the person who illegally leaked the transcript of Mr. Flynn's calls to the Washington Post. And specifically, the filing states that the ONA director Baker regularly lunched with Washington Post reporter David Ignatius. So there you go. Unbelievable. I mean, that's really not too much different than what Comey did in leaking information. I still don't understand why Comey seemingly got away with that, and also talking to the president, going out, typing on his computer, leaking that information. Any information that you have as somebody who is talking to the president in the White House, that information should always be confidential, or at least protected under executive privilege. So, don't understand that. Again, it's that upside down world type thing that we live in. So, also on President Trump, he said in an interview Tuesday with Bill O'Reilly that he's going to designate the Mexican drug cartels as terrorists over their role in drug and human trafficking. I really hope he does. I really hope he does that quickly. I think that there needs to be more awareness brought to what's going on with the cartels. Too many people like Nancy seem to take it so lightly that the drug cartels are as dangerous as they are. And as somebody who lives here. She should understand that, but maybe she does and just wants to ignore it. I have no idea. I have no idea. Okay, so let's get an update on Netanyahu. The blue and white leader Benny Gantz is prepared to join Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in making compromises ahead of the December 11 deadline to form a government. Now, what happens on December the 11th, if they, if they don't compromise, if they don't have a government in place, then they're going to have a third election. And, they're saying, why do we want to put Israel through, hey, Barbara, put through another election? That would be the third election for Israel. Netanyahu already compromised supposedly by dropping his insistence on serving as prime minister the first 2 years in a unity government to 1 year, and then relaying to Gantz that he would settle for less than 6 months without tricks and shticks. I don't know if that's, if that's a rumor or if that's true. And Philip Gitmo Linda said, "Love your hair, Susan." Thank you, Puzzles. It looks good today. Tomorrow it won't be. I can promise you. It changes every day. Nancy's in the pocket of cartel like a bad cop. Barbara said, "Yeah, it's bad. It's bad." But Netanyahu, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen with Israel. It would be sad to have somebody else in there other than Netanyahu to be the prime minister. To have Gantz be in there for, a year and a half and then maybe Netanyahu takes over. I do not believe the picture of her in Beto was fake. Are you talking? Oh, Nancy? Yeah, I have no idea. I didn't see that photo. So anyway, pray for Israel. The same thing that's going on here in this United States is happening over in Israel. We're seeing it. It's running parallel. Charges are being brought up on Netanyahu and President Trump, both without any basis in fact. No doubt Obama working to bring him down, Barbara said. Well, Obama did try to interfere with the elections once before. So that would not surprise me. That he would still be working to bring him down. And it's not surprising that Obama is still leading everything that's going on against this president. I mean, how many other presidents have stayed in Washington, D.C.? I think 0. And maybe one other, way a long time ago. But it just seems too suspicious to me that he would still be in Washington, D.C. Yes, praying for Israel, Danielle said. All right. Now we have, let me go over here. Okay. Find some, okay, I have to close one, bring up another. All right. So now this is a tweet that came up from GOP Representative Tom McClintock. Says it would be to the president's advantage to have his attorneys at the December 4 impeachment hearing. I can also understand how he's upset at the illegitimate process that we saw unfold in the Intelligence Committee. So here is one Republican basically saying that he thinks President Trump should be there, while basically the rest of the Republicans in Congress are saying he really shouldn't be there and the attorney shouldn't be there because it gives legitimacy to what's going on, to this illegitimate process that we have seen so far. And it is an illegitimate process, whether I guess some people want to believe that or not, but because even federal rules were not followed. And that's insane. That's just not how a republic treats a process like this. Yes, let's see. He worked with corrupt FBI also, Barbara said. Wilson did, but it was due to a stroke. That's true, Judy. Is Obama part of a deep state? Gillian, 150,000% yes. Did I say that? Yes. Okay. Now, also, you heard about the London attack that occurred. Let me see if I have any photos of this. I thought I did. Hold on one second. All right, this was yesterday. You heard about the London Bridge attack, and then there's the photo on that. And on that same day that there was an attack, this, I guess that happened on Saturday, the terror organization said this man, Usman Khan, convicted terrorist released early from prison last year who stabbed 2 people to death during a rampage on Friday, was acting in the group's name, falling short of claiming direct responsibility. Now, it just so happens that on the same day as the London attack, let me bring this up for you, there was a rabbi that was attacked on the same day, a horrific anti-Semitic hate crime in London, as a rabbi brutally attacked and left bleeding on Shabbat by a group of teenagers as they shouted, "Kill Jews" and "F Jews." This happened the same day as the London Bridge attack. Now, did we hear anything about this in the mainstream media? I heard nothing about this. Why is that? Why was this not included in an attack in London? Was it because it was about Jews and they didn't care? They didn't want to talk about it? I don't know. It seems odd. Did anybody else hear anything about this from mainstream media? Maybe I missed it. Did you hear anything? Well, that's a lot of percentages. Yeah, Judy's angry face. If he sends attorneys, yes, it will make him look defensive. Yeah, Barbara, also. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I didn't hear not a peep about it. And it's so sad, and they just ignored it. I didn't hear anything. I saw it on Twitter. Yeah, Renee, that's where I saw it. I got the tweet. That's where I saw it. Didn't hear anything else. I saw the London police run away from a hatchet swinging nutcase, Barbara said. Yeah, it's amazing. I think they finally shot that nutcase, but too bad the other people didn't have guns. Outlaw knives. Well, they will someday, Wayne. I think they have. I think they have. Isn't it? Didn't the mayor there in London say that you can't have knives, or they have something where you can put your knives? I have no idea. I heard it on Apple News. Gillian said, "Wow, yeah, I didn't hear it at all." Now, another thing that we're not hearing too much of is what's coming out of Iran. Why is that? Is it because they are Iranian government is a friend to John Kerry? Hillary Clinton, former President Barack Obama? Could be. Let's see. Is the rabbi okay? Haven't heard, Linda. Haven't heard. I heard zero about that also, Cully said. Yeah. And I haven't heard any follow-up about the rabbi. I saw about it on Twitter and Periscope, Kim said. Yeah, that would be about all that we're getting the news. Now, so what happened on Sunday, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps members surrounded, shot, and killed about 180 demonstrators, mostly unarmed young men in a sugarcane field where they fled and sought refuge. Did you hear anything about that? We can soon expect to hear those 2 phrases from our Congress and at the convention, Barbara said. Let's see, we need mental institutions for the left. Clara said, I also saw a video where it showed the attacker get up after he was supposedly dead. Wow, Kim, that's weird. Didn't see that. So altogether, the Iranian government has killed about 180 to 450 people and possibly more in 4 days of intense violence after that gasoline price increase was announced on November 15th. Remember, we talked about that. They made up some excuse that they were raising the price of gasoline so they could afford to give the poor money and things of that sort, which was a lie. Bibi Netanyahu and Amir Safadi are really the only ones saying anything, Gillian said. Yeah, well, yeah, that's not surprising. So anyway, keep your eyes on Iran. They've 2,000 wounded and 7,000 detained, according to the International Rights Organization. We're not hearing anything about Iran. Again, I think it's because of who they're friends with. Now, let me see some other information here. Try to get all this in before our time is up. All right. Now this is one of the things that you just have to shake your head out at, because you can't believe that you're actually seeing it. But this was on sale on on Amazon. They were selling Christmas ornaments with images of Auschwitz. And this guy was saying this is the Auschwitz memorial, saying doesn't seem appropriate. Auschwitz on a bottle opener is rather disturbing and disrespectful. We also asked Amazon to remove. We asked Amazon to remove the items of those suppliers. I mean, it's hard to believe that Amazon would put something up like that. I mean, it should be hard to believe. It's no longer hard to believe, sadly. And we'll say that Amazon did remove those suppliers. I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm watching the sky. It ain't going to be long till we go home, Rick said, that's for sure. Attacking or undermining a president while he's overseas seems treasonous to me. Yeah, it doesn't it, Barbara? A little bit, right? But they don't care. And again, they've worked this all out. They know how far they can push the envelope before they would get in trouble themselves. So, anyway, I just think it's one of those things where, again, so much. I couldn't believe this. Both sets of my husband's grandparents were murdered in the camps. Wow, Gillian. And the way you must feel seeing something like that is, I mean, I can't even imagine. It is disgusting. It's far beyond disgusting for anybody to even think in a split second that that's appropriate. Yeah, Cully said, wow, I know. And Amazon's like, yeah, let's sell these things. This will be great. I don't know if somebody put that up and nobody noticed it. I have no idea. Nothing surprises me. But I did want to say, that things are weird. Things are getting weirder by the day. Things in our country, things in our world, the hatred that you see coming from the left, it's really amping up very quickly. And I just want to say, all of us, spend time in the Word, spend time focused on what God is doing, more so than what we're seeing in politics. Spend time on what God is doing in you, what God wants to show you, what God is showing you by all that's happening to the president, what God is showing you that's by all that's happening to Netanyahu, what God is showing you by all that's happening to our country, because I think it's all important. I do think it's connected to the end times. I do think that some things that we may not know will happen or we don't think will happen, we are going to see happening. Yes, we have been killing babies since 1973, unfortunately. We are upside down, Janice. We very much are. Yeah, pray, Renee has said. Yes, we absolutely need to, because so much is happening that is inexplicable. But, I mean, if you read the Bible, if you go back and you spend time doing that, if you listen to, for example, Who's Your Land Here waiting at the hospital for CT, drank yucky stuff, makes it better listening to you while waiting. Thank you, Patsy. I hope everything turns out well for you, whatever you're in there for. I ask for God's healing for you, Patsy, and that everything is just fine. But Democrats used to be upset if you suggested they're anti-American. Now they embrace it and teach it, Barbara said. Yeah, it's really, it's really sad to see this happening in our country. It's nothing I don't think that any of us ever really imagined that we would ever see in our country. And, we've got to, I've said this before, but we need to somehow never give up faith or prayer. Exactly, Elaine. We need to be really mindful of what's happening to our children. It's happening quickly to our children. They are being, the only word I can think of is groomed. It's not good at all. We're seeing things that are happening from the left or attacking the right. And I've noticed that a lot of people, I find this very disappointing. And this is not, I'm not generalizing everyone, but I've noticed a lot how the people, the young people on the left, they simply do not have any respect for anyone older than them. They will attack as though they're attacking their own peers, which they shouldn't do that either. But I'm just saying, I've seen them come after women. I've seen them come after men. I've seen them come after older women and men. And it's really sad to watch our society falling apart. And I think that we are seeing our society falling apart. Clara said kids are being brainwashed, indoctrinated. Hey, Grateful Mike. Yes, indoctrinated. Absolutely. And it's just hard to watch. You know, it really is hard to watch. And you have to talk to them. You have to remind them about the things that you know, and try to keep them as much as you can on track. And also their parents. To know God's heart breaks more than ours does. That makes me sad. I know, Linda. I mean, think about that. That not only have we aborted God's children by, I mean, how the 3,000 a day. I mean, I don't know. My gosh, 60 million over, since 73, crazy. And we've done that as a society. We've done that. God has always blessed this country. Zero respect for the elders. Judy, absolutely zero respect. Zero respect. God has always blessed this country, but we've turned away from God. And the more that we turned away, that you mentioned, no, I didn't mention him. So I don't know who that is, America First. I didn't mention that person. But the more that we turn away from God, the more God will remove his hand from our country. I don't want to see that happen. I know that you don't want to see that happen. We need to draw closer to God. We need to spend more time with God. We need respect is taught, Janice. And I was going to say that's one thing, when you have the kids and you've got to be an activist for the kids, you also have to help their parents because their parents are kind of under the same delusion. And if you don't help their parents who should be helping their children, it's kind of a lost thing. It started when they took the father out of the home and forsook the father's teaching, Vicky said. Respect is taught, Janice said. I have a millennial that's using my business name that I've had over 10 years. She doesn't care, no respect. Oh, that's bad. That could ruin your business, Kim. I'm so grateful to God for my children. They are born again, respect their elders. Thank God for that, Robin, and what you've taught them. These kids need to visit and talk with nursing home residents, Elaine said. That's exactly right, Susan. Judy said. When schools teach little kids pilgrims were terrorists, what hope is left? See, Barbara, that is just horrible. When you've got Kaepernick going out there on Thanksgiving talking about unthanksgiving and calling pilgrims terrorists, changing the history of the United States, and people aren't standing up against it, we're indeed in trouble. And pray for the parents who are trying to stand up. Pray for the school district parents, who are trying to go to their districts and say enough is enough. Some even in California. Did you see Brandon Straka facing the woman protester down about walk away movement at his meeting? Clara, I saw something about that, but not all of it. Bible was taken out of school in 63. We've been going downhill ever since. Yeah. Rick, the woman, and the name escapes me right now, the woman who took prayer out of the schools, the atheist who had that happen, I interviewed her son on one of my shows. Son was not like her at all. And I asked him, how did you not become like her? How did you not fall into the same trap? He goes, when I got a job, that's what made all the difference. I understood how screwed up, basically, he didn't say it that way, but how screwed up her thinking was on different things. True history is not taught in public schools. That's true, Renee. Public school children don't know history unless their parents teach them. That's true. That's true. The crazies defaced Robert E. Lee statue. Yeah. Yep. O'Hare. Who's that, Wayne? So, yeah. I can't, the name escapes me right now, but I'll have to look it up. I put him out on my Spreaker.com to let you hear that interview again. Her hair was horrible. Oh, let I see. I put it out there, and again, right now, I just can't remember his name while I'm talking and all that. But anyway, it was a great interview, and the son was not like the mother, thank God. So anyway, God bless you. See you tomorrow. Okay, Rick. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. If you would please retweet this. Rebuild all destroyed statue. Yeah, that would be good. That would be good, Barbara. Don't think it's going to happen. I know that I didn't spell it right. Oh, it's okay, Wayne. But anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Please retweet this.